Yeah, so back out in the creek again today. Actually, really nice day. Not camping out here, just come out for a day run. I've got the high banker set up down here in the creek. I've got about a foot deep hole here at the bottom, and this is where I've been digging the last few weeks. It's obviously a bit harder now that we've got a fair bit of water here, but basically over 3 weeks I went sort of 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, and then some up there. So a good 3 grams just from this section alone, and I have skipped sections, you can see, and today I'm pretty much just coming along and just cleaning them up while I've got some water here. It is hard to spot the bedrock just with the water. Obviously you dig a hole and it fills in, so it does make it a bit difficult to target the bedrock just to see what it's doing. But look, we're just going to get into the benches a bit. I'm going to try and chase some bedrock down. I did notice on this side you can see the bedrock's pretty high up here and it dips that way, and then as it gets down further here it actually starts dipping back the other way. So it's a bit of a mixed bag of the bedrock and how it's moving through here. So your gravel pockets will build up on the lower side, and obviously you've had years of wash come down as well, so we want to get under that 6 or 8 inches of gravels that are sitting around the top. We want to get to that bedrock and get those hard packed gravels that are stuck in that decaying clay or country rock, if you want to call it. But all right, we'll keep going. So you can see we're getting stuck into this bedrock here. You can see it's got a pretty reddish sort of colour and yellows, particularly down in there, which is really good looking material. You can see it's starting to fill up with water already. I dug that about 30 seconds ago. We're going to try and run some of this. It is clay and stuff like that. It may clag the mat in the high banker, but what we'll do, I've got the puddler down here, just a Zito mixer, the mixing tool. We're just going to bang it in there, puddle it up, and then we'll just run it through the high banker, because yeah, we don't want to clog the miner's moss with the with that clay, because it will just clag it all up on me and it won't wash out properly. So we'll try running a bit through, and if that doesn't work, we'll puddle some up. Keep going. So this just breaks all that clay up, that very claggy stuff right down the bottom. Just breaks it up so I can run it through much easier. So we'll keep puddling it up, and then we'll run a bit through. Keep going. So we've just done a few buckets out of the top, up in this section there, and I have emptied the mat into that. So I've got about 1 inch or so of cons in there. So that's our top section, that white bucket with no handle, just for my reference. And that was all in this section here, against this bank and down in the bedrock there, which you can't see. So now I've moved down, say, a couple of meters, and I'm going to get stuck into this bank here. You can see the bedrock as it comes down, it's dipping off down here like that, and it's pretty well just cutting straight into this bank. So I did get into here and pulled some big rock out, which is good. So yeah, I've ripped all this up, and I'm just going to get down under there. I'm going to try and chase that bedrock in there. I can't see it, but I can sort of feel it with the shovel. So we'll run another pile like that. It is running really clean. I'm not really having to puddle at all, which is good. You can see just how clean the gravels are. Tailings piles like that, they're super clean. I've got every little bit of gold out of there, absolutely. I've seen some tailings piles where it all just sticks back together with clay. They've thrown half their gold out the back of the high banker. So all right, we're going to keep going. I don't know, I've lost track of sort of what that is. It's probably a couple of tubs worth there. So we'll do another couple of tubs worth here, and then to finish off, I'm probably going to pull all this out. I'm going to dig all this first, and then I'm going to rip all this material out of here, because you can see the bedrock there, really prominent. I want to get down about a foot or so down under here and see what the bedrock's doing. All right, we'll keep going. So we've got 2 buckets of cons now. So we dug in the top bit here. there, and then we've gone all the way down along this gutter, following that bedrock right as it dives right under that bench there. So don't know, we were seeing a few little bits of colour in the punch plate down in here, which is a good indicator whether there's gold. Rather than test panning, if you're getting a bit of gold here, then you keep going. But I've moved down to this bottom section now. I'm just going to do my last run. I probably am going to run this. But you can see I'm down to the bedrock there. There is a lot of gravels in this section in here. I'll pull a bit back. You can see there's a fair bit of good sized rock in there, which is what you're after. And the bedrock is actually diving this way now. So back up here, it was diving that way. Then you get down to here, raises up here, and it starts diving the other way. So the other week we did get into this gutter over here. So, but we're just going to go to the bottom of the bedrock here, just on it is the inside bend, and the bedrock does fall away like that, but we believe a bit of it could have got hung up, and the bedrock isn't flat either, it's up and down, it has pockets. So we'll run that, and then we'll go home and we'll wash it through. Keep going.